Make health understanding to people. So we use a lot of metaphors to try to explain the complexity of the human body and how it all works. So we'll talk about things like how the pituitary gland is the conductor of the hormonal orchestra, because it is the gland that really controls all hormones in a lot of different systems. And we'll talk about how the inner structure of bones actually is structured like the Eiffel Tower. That's the way that the actual structure of the bone is fits together. And we'll talk about the discs in your back between your vertebrae and how that really they're the substance of a jelly donut, in that they're encased and they have some fluid inside. And that's kind of our goal in health, right? Is to try to make health understandable to people. And I'm going to kind of tie this in a second. I know it doesn't make much sense, but I'm going to get to that. So I think a lot about what sub 30 means, and what sub 30 means to me and to so many people. And you know, we just as runners know the body sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work. And we sometimes have a few bumps along the way. So we are very in tune to our bodies. We're very in tune to how things work. But I think a lot about what sub 30 means. And you know, you heard a little bit about how and what it means and how it works. And as you heard, sub 30 started because a few people decided to share a goal. And I think it has turned into something where people share a common spirit. And it's big. I have a hard time trying to describe it. So what I thought I would try to do is make the case that sub 30 is actually like the human body. Instead of the human body, describing the human body, how it works, we are going to describe sub 30 as the human body, because it together, with all of us together, is... I got you, Larry. I know what's going on. All right? Enough. I got you. So, I'm going to make the case that sub 30 is, in a lot of ways, is like the human body. So, we can look at it and say, okay, do we have a brain? Maybe not sometimes, but we do have a brain, and that comes in the form of all of us being able to share information with each other. And it's just we're a smart group of runners who exchange information. We help each other. It doesn't matter your skill level. It doesn't matter your experience. We all share information, and we all are kind of together in that spirit of putting everything, putting things out there for everybody. I would also say that we have voices, and we don't just have individual voices, we have collective voice. And I think one of the things that is so cool about sub 30 is that not only do we have individual voices with different perspectives and different experiences and part of sharing who we are, but we have a collective voice, and that collective voice has become very loud and very strong in recent years, in that our voice is about supporting all runners, no matter what, right? And this is the whole No Supper Left Behind mantra that has kind of taken over the club. This is the idea that every runner matters. And that, to me, is one of the things I'm most proud about this group, is that we have that collective voice that we can broadcast, certainly to everybody and everywhere we go. Now, I'll also say that I think we have shoulders. What does that mean? We lean on shoulders, and we get leaned on with shoulders. And that's a big part of who we are, right? We seek help when we can get it. We give help when we can. And it's really an essential part of who we are, because that is what we do. We help each other, we support, we lean on each other. I think that kind of what the cool thing about this is we're at 6,000. But here's the thing, like 6,000 to me is really cool, like that's crazy. I don't care about 6,000. What I care about is 2, 3, 5, 10, right? This is what the amazing part of this group has been, is that we are not 6,000 voices. We are people who get together, we form friendships, and whatever happens in the 6,000 group, okay, there's a lot of great stuff, but the magic of any running tribe, right? I know not everybody here is sub 30, but of any running tribe is what happens in these moments, right? What happens between 2, 4, 8, 10, whatever the group is. And to me, that is a huge part of who we are. I do want to give a quick shout out to my shoulders, at least over the last couple of months for sure. My friends Ted and Tim are here tonight, and they inspire me, and they push me, and they yell at me, and they tell me to pick up my damn feet all the time, and they're awesome. They had great races today and tomorrow as well. So congrats to you and thank you. And also the same goes for kind of my virtual support group, which is Laurie, Andy, and Will, and they've been great with me over the last couple of months. So thank you. I appreciate it. We also have an immune system, okay? And so what I mean by this is one of the great factors about how we work is that we try to say that we are a group of positive spirit. We're a group of support. We try to eliminate the controversial drama. We try to eliminate the things that will just derail people's spirit when it comes to running. So there's this sense that we as a group can sort of work to protect ourselves. And I think that's just been so nice to see that in action, is that we are able to protect ourselves. I do want to also say that, I do want to also say that part of that protection comes from our board. These are the people on our board now. If you can stand up, we've got a couple people here who are on the board. Anybody who's on the executive, stand up real quick. Thank you to all of you. When this group got to about, I don't know what the number was, but it was about 1,500 people, I said, I cannot freaking do this. Like, I cannot monitor everything that's going on. So we put together a group that was dedicated to helping the group, and they've been great. And the weird thing is like when you scramble the letters of all people's names, it really, it comes out to, it comes up to that. So we also have muscle, and that is the strength that we see in each and every person who does what they want to do, what they can do, and they have the strength to move, to get better, to reach their goals, and that strength is just so great to see. We see that all the time. We saw this with Kim. I don't know if those of you who saw this post, that Kim posted this great thing where she said, "Hey, I just got sub 30 hours." in a trail race, and it was just amazing. She did it quietly without any fanfare, and the strength to be able to pursue your goals no matter what they are has been wonderful to watch. Rigo's not here, I don't think, tonight, but Rigo has lost like over 100 pounds, and to see his transformation is incredible. I mean, he's just been unbelievable. And then, certainly when you think about muscle, I think we all think of Patricia. If you get like the bulldozer, we definitely think about muscle. Guts. There are a lot of guts in this room. There are a lot of guts. In sub 30 all the time, and this is just played out day after day after day. And I think one of the things that kind of came to the forefront the other day was when Andy posted in the sub 30 RWF2017 group, which is one of like 4,000 sub groups. Well, when Andy posted his goal for the 5K, what was amazing to me is the thread that happened, and everybody just said, "This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do." And just the guts to put out your goals in public is part of the energy that comes from that. So we see guts all the time. We see that fortitude to get through. Guts also happen when you take on anything for the first time. When you take on anything for the first time, that is about guts. You're going to kill it tomorrow, Amy. Awesome. So this one, I mean, we could be here until like 4 o'clock in the morning talking about this, so I will not do that. But this is really this is our pulse, you know, this is our beat and this is our rhythm. This is what everybody does. Everybody moves forward, everybody goes after what they want to go after, and this manifests itself in passion and compassion. And this to me is what we are, and we see it all the time. Are you here? Is Susan here?
No.
Okay. Crazy, right? Awesome to see that happen. You know, she just crushed it today. It was great. It was great. Tony and Sarah, you get after it, and I know that you have inspired so many people here. And we thank you for what you have done and for always moving forward and for sending that message to us. Sandra, you have every reason to not be here, and you are here, and we are better for it that you are here. Thank you. Thank you. And I think I can speak for everybody that there's not a day that doesn't go by where we aren't inspired by your spirit and your strength and your ability to take us to places where we didn't think we can go. Thank you. Thank you. Now, occasionally we do have our cuts and scrapes and bruises and infections, and that does happen. So I don't want to make it sound like it's all nice, but you know, part of what Sub 30 is, I think, is that, you know, we're united in all of these things, right? We're united, and I think one of the things that really unites us is this, right? It's the wall, and that's not just the race wall, and that's just not the training wall, that's the life wall. And what I've always viewed Sub 30 as, for me, is a community that pulls and pushes and tries to get you to find a way up, over, or through the wall, with the understanding and the real acknowledgement that everything that you do is individual, all the work you put in is individual, and you are responsible for taking care of all of it, and you do it by yourself because you have the strength to do it. But when we need that last boost, right, this is where we come in, right? And this is what happens, that we are able to, not just Sub 30, but all of our running tribes and running groups are able to kind of lift each other up and try to get them over. Now, I've had to kind of rethink this a little bit, and I told myself I'm not going to talk about myself and what's going on a lot today, but I do just want to kind of mention one thing about kind of what's happened over the last couple of years. So I reached what I felt was a fairly nice milestone for me a couple of years ago, and I was thrilled with it, and I was proud, and I was happy, and it was great. But since then, I've had DNS, I've had DNF at Big Sur, and I have misfired on almost every public goal that I put out there. So I tried to do a 7:30 mile, didn't happen. I tried to do one stinking pull-up, not gonna happen, right? I'm gonna get that one day, I'm getting that one day. And I tried to do like a New Year's burpee challenge, and it didn't happen. Okay, so I've misfired. So I've had to think about what that wall means, and I've had to think about, you know, what we're about, because I felt kind of weird and bad, right? That I felt like I'm supposed to be able to put out a goal and take care of it, and some of them haven't happened. So what I thought about this, when I thought about what it means in terms of our online group, is that you know, we push, we pull, we get through, we find other ways around the wall. But the thing that I didn't miss is that Sub 30 and your tribe, they're not just about pulling you and pushing you over the wall. They will sit there with you at the bottom of the wall, right? Even when you haven't been able to get over it, they will sit with you and they will wait for you. So I thank you for waiting for me, and I will get back there. So thank you. So all of our tribes are incredibly special, you know, for a lot of reasons, mostly because of that collective power. So 2 years ago, some of you may, if you were here, some of you remember that this is how we kind of put together what Beast was. We kind of said that, you know, this was one of our mantras: be epic and strong together, with a real emphasis on the together, and that we as a group are going to be, you know, stronger because of what we do together. But we're not just strong because of our collective power. There are other things that are working at play to make us better and stronger. And I just want to take a quick second here to tell you that I did something that without the board's approval, so the board's going to yell later, but I think it's necessary to acknowledge two people who have been just incredible ambassadors for this group, who have led this group, not only by example, but from their leadership, their ability to give themselves to others, and their ability to bring us along and do whatever they could to make sure that we had fit all those body parts. So tonight, I am introducing the first Sub-30 Beast Award, and there are going to be two of them, and you can guess that they're going to go to our leaders. They're going to go to Andy Alvin and Therese Schwartz. I mean, obviously you know what they've done because they are with us all the time. But as I said before, I couldn't have done it without them, and they're just incredible what they've given to
Thank you.
to this group. So I'm going to wrap up with just two quick things. So I'm going to wrap up with a couple quick last things. So when I talked about this 2 years ago, we talked about Be Epic and Strong Together, and we talked mostly about the together. But there was one thing that I didn't really feel like I talked much about, and that was our second word, which is epic. And I want to say two quick things about what to me epic means, because epic is things like that happen this weekend. Epic is things that happen in your running lives to achieve what you want to achieve. And I think that, since we might as well keep a theme going here, I think we want to define what epic is. And for us, I think it's this. It's not that. It's this. And I think that is what our if you allow me like one last anatomical metaphor, this is our backbone, right? This is our backbone, and this is who we are. So the last thing I want to say about it is, to me, this is when epic happens, right? Epic is individual. You do your own races. You have your own goals. It doesn't matter if it's long, short, speed, whatever. It doesn't matter. Epic is about you and what you want to achieve. But to me, this is when epic happens. Epic happens when I can't is so strong, right? I can't is stronger than the I can. And there's one moment, the one moment when I can just pushes I can a little bit out of the way, right? Just a little bit out of the way to make you believe that you can achieve something that you weren't able to achieve. And that's when I think it happens. And I think that's when it becomes I did, right? And I think that's what it is. So I will just say, so to me, epic is having people who can push you, pull you, and be proud of you. Epic is a moment that may not happen often but stays with you forever. Epic is feeling the nerves before the start and the ecstasy after the finish, and maybe forgetting about the pain from what happens in between. Epic is whatever you want it to be, no matter the race, no matter the pace. Epic is worth it. Epic is what you, Sub-30, are all about, and I am honored to share the road with you. Thank you. And that goes. I also want to do two quick shout outs today. That I want to thank my two shoulders for today. So Lindsay and Aaron, I thank you for pulling me today. It was really great of you to do. So I appreciate it. Thank you.